so I awkwardly clear my throat and absent-mindedly shift my weight from one foot to the other. Ahem! Jay. And Leon. Okay. I'm off for my walk now. Toodles. You do that. You make sure you take a while too. It might get rowdy up here. Hello everybody, I'm Degenerate and welcome to 14 Days with You. You little yandere game. You know? I mean, pretty self-explanatory from what we're looking at right now. Let's just do it. Right? Let's just dive on in. We are going to only be doing day one, obviously. I like to do things in a very neat manner, so I'm gonna change that to that, keep that, and turn this on. Ooh, it's actually really cool. Like that. That's actually really cool. Huh. Let us continue. I think we had everything ready. Hello already? I see. I can't wait to finally meet you. Oh! Literally just started. Oh, you hear that sound? I like it. That's an obvious save. Alrighty. And in other news, the remains of yet another body has been pulled out from Lake Blue Moss, making a total of 4 unidentified victims this past year. Authorities believe that... Ugh. Stifling a groan with the rim of my coffee cup, I fish around for the remote lodged between the cushions and turn off the TV. Yeah, who wants to hear about depressing news? I wasn't about to let some morbid headline damper the start of my cheerful morning, especially considering how today was going to be my first day at work. After finally getting that hard-earned promotion. I mean, sure, stacking and sorting through books at a library might not have been my dream job, or even my first choice of places to work after moving back. But the pay was nice, my coworkers were friendly, and the building was located within the perfect walking distance from my apartment. There was even this adorable little bakery along the way that served the best shortcakes and croissants known to mankind. And the manager there always loved to hand out small freebies whenever I stopped by. It still beats living in this city though. Honestly, I wasn't even sure why I left my hometown in the first place. The fast-paced hustle and bustle lifestyle of the city just wasn't what I was longing for. Whatever I started out of my window on sleepless nights. Oh, stared. And the people there were always rude and indignant. It was nothing like Coraline Bay, where everyone felt like a close-knit family, and the air smelled like the sea rather than pollution. And sure, the local crime rate might be getting out of hand as of late, and there might be fewer things for me to do here. But my new job keeps me busy, and I prefer spending time alone at the beach over visiting shady bars with people I barely considered friends. In fact, setting my mug on the table, I reach into my pocket and pull out my phone. A notification from Moth, my online friend, pops up, so I tap the screen to read their message. What greets me is an adorable sticker of some anime character giving me a thumbs up, as well as a short message that says, "Good lucks today," underneath. Moth had always been adamant about showing their endless support for me, even after 5 years of friendship, cursed memes, and shitty Wi-Fi video calls. And even though I would never admit it out loud, I was truly grateful to have someone like them in my life. Holding up the keyboard, I begin to type a response to their message. How will you respond? Say thank you. Send back another sticker. Reply later. Send back a meme with zero context. I feel like the most rational thing to do here is to just say thank you. It really was considerate of them to send this message, especially considering our contrasting time zones. So I decide on sending back a quick thank you in response. A great chat bubble pops up just as I hit the send button, indicating that Moth was typing out another message. By the way, didn't you say last night that you were going to head to work at 8 AM? Because it's like, where are you right now? Right? Or am I dumb and got the time zone mixed up again? Looking at the time displayed on my phone, I immediately let out a string of curses and leaped to my feet. Shit. Grabbing the coat that I had carelessly strewn across the back of the sofa earlier, I quickly shrug it on before making a beeline towards the front door. Before I leave, however, I spared myself one final glance in the poorly hung mirror in the hallway. Hopefully the outfit I chose was appropriate for my job. What style did you go for? We're a librarian, right? Something cutesy, comfy, alternative, professional, trendy, casual. We work at a library, so do comfy. Oh please, climbing shelves and carrying stacks of books while wearing something stiff and uncomfortable? Yeah, no thanks. I pull the sleeves of my sweater down to smooth out the folds and give myself an appreciative nod in the mirror. But enough of that. I can check myself out another time. Hastily, I smooth out the wrinkles and pick off any stray pieces of lint from my sleeves before I finally head out the front door. And almost catch my coat on the door handle in the process. With a grumble, I tug at the fabric of my coat before slamming the door shut with a little bit too much force than necessary. Even trying to insert my key came with a bit of a struggle, and I had to fight the urge to yell in frustration as I attempted to lock my door. Seriously, won't that lazy bum of a landlord do something about this? I swear I've complained about this at least 4 times this month. Oh hey there, looking good. I know, right? I picked comfy. My neighbor Violet practically beams at me while she fishes through her pocket for her own apartment key. Resting on her hip was yet another potted plant, and I found myself wondering where she was going to put it this time. I was almost entirely convinced that her whole apartment had been turned into a greenhouse at this point, considering how her balcony was practically filled to the brim with different kinds of plants, greenery, and other various kinds of flora. But I wasn't about to complain or anything. The fragrance that wafted in with the wind always smelled floral and earthy, and it did well to mask the smell of smoke and burnt food whenever I tried to cook. I love the shoes, by the way. Thank you. Her voice pulls me away from my thoughts, and I notice how the growing smile on her face didn't seem to falter. In response, I shoot her one of my own, and was apparently enough to brighten her mood even more than it was already. How will you respond? What exactly are you holding? Is that another plant? It's nice to see you again. Sorry, Vi, I'm in a rush. That's true, let's get to work. It's okay, don't let me stop you. She gives me a soft smile and waves her free hand before focusing her attention back on her door. That is, until she suddenly jolts, as if she just remembered something that swivels in her... Oh, and swivels on her heels to look at me once more. Oh, I almost forgot. I've been meaning to ask you this, but when are you going to tell me that you were seeing someone? Ma'am. Huh? A knowing look pulls at her features as Violet continues to fiddle with her lock on her door. What are you talking about? Come on, don't act like you didn't just have a guy over last night. I saw him leaving when I took Kathy out for a walk. It's only day 1. Calm down. I'd be more worried about my neighbor taking her plants, named plants, out on a walk at night, but the thought of someone leaving my apartment seemed to set off way more alarm bells. I give Violet a concerned look and she picks up on it almost immediately. You don't remember? Don't tell me you were drunk or something. I could have been incapacitated. You never know. Because if I'm not remembering it, something must have happened. With a huff, she gives up on trying to unlock her door. It seems as though we both share the same problem with our apartment locks. And places her plant on the ground before slowly making her way towards me. Me still being late? Tall guy, wearing a dark slasher hoodie, probably into either old-fashioned or bondage, with the crazy amount of bells and loops wrapped around his legs. Ring any bells? No! Last night I was just catching up on some TV shows and talking with my friend. No one came here. Even if they did, I would have heard them. My place isn't really that big anyway. Really? But I was sure it was your door. Stop it. A hand rests on her cheek in a thinking manner before she pouts up at me, seemingly giving in for now. Well, alright then. Maybe it was somebody else's apartment? I mean, it's always so dark in these hallways at night. Honestly, what is our landlord doing? Obviously not fixing the locks because we can't even lock them from the outside. And people are just walking into apartments like they own the place. Would you mind if I checked in with security downstairs later? It'd give me some peace of mind. Yeah, that's fine. Alright then, thank you. Oh, I got some plants to water and some MMOs to raid in, so... You got it. Violet's out a one last talk before she picks up her plant. She did the same... What did she name this one? Oh, and goes back to unlocking her door. Good talk, I guess, even if it was kind of awkward. Sure, see you later. Slipping past my neighbor and into the cramped hallway, I quickly make way for the stairs. When will they fix that broken elevator and break into a slight jog? Everything in this place is just broken, messed up. Thankfully, the weather was cool today, and the shoes I chose weren't going to leave me with blisters by the time I reached the library. Yay! That's why I chose comfy. The smell of old paper, coffee, and soft incense floods my senses as I step through the library glass doors. The metallic chimes alert the woman at the reception desk of my arrival, and I watch as she tucks a strand of stray blonde hair behind her ear as she turns around to greet me. Hey, Eleanor. Oh. She looks surprised for some reason before her expression morphs into a soft smile, and she beckons me closer with a nod of her head. Eleanor is one of my coworkers here at Coraline Bay Library, and one of the very few people here who actually gets the work done. And although she's notorious for being rather scatterbrained, she more than makes up for it with her caring and doting attitude towards everyone. But her nurturing personality can get rather overbearing at times, and I often find myself having to step away to get some breathing room. Nevertheless, she's charming to work with, and I appreciate her always looking out for me. After all, who knows what my sleeping schedule would have looked like without her help. Just on time, I printed out your... Wait, where did I... Her expression turns into a slight panic as she spins on her heels. And I slightly watch with amusement as she shuffles through the various books and stacks the paper lying on her desk. Where did I leave it? Ah, here it is. Sitting around once more. Oh, spinning around. Eleanor comes back and hands me a sheet of paper with the word schedule printed in big, bold letters. I take it from her grasp and give the sheet a once-over. Well, it looks like I'm going to be busy for the next few weekends, but I guess Eleanor doesn't seem to share the same disdain as me, judging from the playful look plastered on her face. So, how does it feel to no longer be the one in charge of stacking books all day? Although you still have to work the front desk from time to time, though, unfortunately. I offer a weak smile at her words before rounding the corner and placing my bag under the desk. And as I begin to pull out some of my belongings, the front door chimes again, letting everyone know that another patron has come in. Figuring Eleanor has it covered, I leave the customer to her as I go back to preparing everything for the day. But as I turn around to check on her, I notice that she had already finished greeting the customer and was on her way back to her own desk across from mine. As if sensing my gaze, she spins around in her chair and flashes me a teasing grin. Looks like he's back again. Oh. Eleanor gives a soft chuckle as she inclines her head in the direction of the person she was talking about. You know that new guy. I don't know when he started showing up here in the bay, but he always comes in and rents out the books you recommend on the display window. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say that he has a little crush on you. Especially with that outfit you've got on. You look amazing. Oh my gosh. I can't really fault him for staring. Because he was staring. A lot. Oh shit. Snorting, I push Eleanor's office chair so that she's facing the other way and focus my attention back on the papers in front of me. What was with everyone today? Always smiling, gossiping about other people, and meddling in business that wasn't their own. It was bad enough that I had to deal with a potential intruder, but I doubt my deadbeat landlord was going to do anything about it. I might need to buy a stronger lock on my way home from work. Maybe even some kind of alarm system. But would the store still be open by then? All of a sudden I get pulled backwards as Eleanor playfully wheels my chair around and leans over my shoulder to softly speak in my ear. Would you look at that? Loverboy in L8 needs some help, it seems. Eleanor, stop. She nods in the direction of the red light flashing above the bookshelves, signaling to the staff that someone in that row needed assistance. With a sigh, I reluctantly stand up and make my way over. I already knew for a fact that Eleanor wasn't going to help them herself, so I begrudgingly begin to make my way towards aisle 8 alone. I knew better than to glance back at her though, knowing fully well that my teasing coworker would be sporting the biggest grin on her face at my misfortune. Alright, let's do our job, I guess. Ducking around the corner and onto the aisle, I was immediately met with a broad backside that was covered by what had to be the comfiest looking cardigan I'd ever seen. The person whom it belonged to, however, hadn't seemed to notice me yet, so I awkwardly clear my throat and absent-mindedly shift my weight from one foot to the other. Ahem! He seems to jump at the sudden noise before sheepishly turning around to face me. Immediately I was taken aback by his soft demeanor, doe-like eyes, and imposing height. So this was the guy who always rented out my recommended books on the display window, huh? He definitely fit the aesthetic of a cozy literature lover needing a good book. His pink hair also reminded me of Haruka, an anime character I had recently been obsessing over with Moth during our late night video calls. In fact, even the overall cut and style appeared vaguely similar to his. But then again, his hairstyle could have been trending right now or something. And I just so happened to be the last to know about it. Right. But now that I really had a good look at the man, which proved difficult considering his towering height, breaking my neck looking up, the stranger also seemed to bear a near picture perfect resemblance to the main lead from this webtoon I was reading. Really? It was called Always With You and it revolved around the main character meeting the love of their life at a library where they both as if noticing my spaced out look, the stranger absentmindedly scratches at his jaw while he waits for me to snap out of my thoughts. In fact, I had been so distracted that I didn't even realize he had been muttering quietly to himself. Hey, huh? I knew you preferred softer looking clothing. I made the right choice with this outfit. Okay. Sorry, I hope I'm not bothering you. I was just looking for, His voice pulls me back to the present. And I hastily try to make sense of what he was spilling from his cherry-tinted lips. Look at you, describing things. Watching him struggle with his words would have made it apathetic. Yes. person feel bad, so I offer him a reassuring smile in return and an encouraging nod of my head. At that, he takes a steady inhale of air before trying again. I need some help. I'm looking for a specific book, you see, but... And now he's playing with the ends of his sleeves. I felt the sudden urge to reach out and stop him. Did I find the action annoying, endearing, relatable? Who knows? But instead, I held back and waited for him to find the words to speak. But wow, even his mannerisms were eerily similar to Haruka's. Yup. The enduring awkwardness and sleeve tugging gave me a sense of deja vu, and it honestly felt like he walked straight out of the anime and into this very library. Man, Ma's gonna freak out when I tell them about this later. The stranger in front of me takes in another shaky inhale before he tries to speak once more. This time, with a lot more confidence in his tone and a fire in his eye. Do you have any books on native flora? The best I've found are on generic wildlife, but nothing about cardland based plants. Or maybe I'm just in the wrong aisle? He was looking for a book about a native flora? Perhaps I should introduce him to Violet. Right? Chuckling to myself at the thought, I stepped closer to the tall man and began scanning the contents of the shelf beside him. He almost seems to flinch at the sudden closeness between us, but showed no sign of moving away. In fact, he seemed to almost lean closer and incline his head towards mine. And had I not been too preoccupied with finding the book, I would have noticed how his breath hitches in his throat as my scent floods his senses. No, you're definitely in the right aisle. Those kinds of books are just more hidden, I guess. I step past him this time and make my way over to the lower part of the shelves. Absent-mindedly, I run a finger against the spines of each book until I come into contact with one book in particular. Then, bending over slightly, I pull the book from the shelf and give the cover a once-over before offering it to the man behind me. Is this what you're looking for? Too preoccupied with the misplaced book on the bookshelf, who brings cookbooks to the nature aisle, I barely noticed how his blue eyes hungrily trail across my form before landing on the book held out in my outstretched hand. With shaky fingers, he reaches out and takes it from me, watching as he flips through a few pages to take in some information, before finally settling on the book with an affirmative nod. Yes, this was exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. I'm glad. You're like an angel sent down from heaven or something. You're so helpful. Kind, too. What? What? Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to. That must be so weird. I'm sorry. He looked as though he was about to cry now, so I hastily threw up my hands in a comforting manner and shot him a reassuring smile. Hey, it's fine, I need to freak out. Just wasn't expecting someone to say that about me is all. Really? Well, I think it's true for what it's worth. You really are like an angel. Thanks. Bringing that was my cue to leave before things got awkward. We've already been there, buddy. I gave him one last friendly smile and suddenly glanced back towards the front desk. But the eccentric man showed no signs of moving. Instead, he just looked down at me expectantly. Did he want to continue the conversation? It seemed unlikely, as he didn't say anything. He simply stared at me. Awkwardly, I cleared my throat for what had to be the millionth time today, and gestured vaguely to the reception desk behind me. Well, if you don't need any more help, I should... This is just getting weird now. Should I even attempt to continue this conversation or just leave? I mean, it would seem rude to just walk away abruptly, especially considering how he's apparently a regular patron in the library I worked at. But he wasn't making much of an effort either, so what should I do? How will you respond? Keep talking to him, stare back at him, politely excuse yourself and leave. Lie and end the conversation. Interesting. This one might be the important one, so we're gonna do that. The one that maybe determines the rest of the night or day, whatever. Keep talking to him, stare back at him. Let's use it against him. You shouldn't stare at me like that. Me? Hypocrite. Especially when it's with a stranger you don't know. Hypocrite. Actually, now that I think about it, you haven't told me your name yet. I guess you're right. You can call me Redacted. Cool. What? It was like he said something, but his voice was delayed. Was that even his voice? Was he speaking English? It almost felt like something that came out of a dream. How did you do that? Do what? Anyways, you can call me Ren if you'd like. My head hurts. We're already doing this. Is it alright if I call you D? Although Angel does suit you just as well. In my personal opinion, at least. Seriously, what the hell just happened? Was I just imagining things? And was he really flirting with me right now? Are you okay? Yeah, I think. But how did you know my name? I don't remember telling you. Silly, it's on your name tag. As if to prove my point, Ren reaches out to gently flick my name tag that I somehow forgot I had put on this morning. Oh. D is a cute name, though. And it's really, really, really fun to say, especially over and over again. That is false. Right. Anyways. Say, are you busy later? I'd love to thank you for helping me find this book. Right. Seriously, what's up with this guy? One minute he's shy, the next he's bold. It was almost like he was putting up several fronts to see which one I respond to better. Joke's on him though, because I found all of his fronts equally a headache. Actually, I'll be busy this afternoon. I need to buy a new lock for my apartment. A new lock doesn't sound good. Can I ask why? I feel like you might know though. I guess it wouldn't hurt to tell him. I mean, what was he gonna do? Personally show up at my doorstep and test the new lock himself? Yes. Apparently someone broke into my apartment last night. I didn't notice. I don't think they stole anything, but still, it's creepy. I figured it's better to be safe than sorry, you know? Yeah, but it sounds like instead of a lock, you just need to jump the scumbag when they least expect it and beat him up to teach them a lesson. Okay. Stay up all night if you have to. Really get the edge on them. Are you sure you don't want to be edged or something? I couldn't help but let out a genuine chuckle at his suggestion. If I had to choose, then this would have to be the side of him that I preferred. He seemed at ease, and his words weren't as forced or awkward. Yeah? And who's gonna be the one to beat the guy up at 3 AM? Because last I checked, I'm not really the type to go around throwing punches at people I don't know. And definitely not before the sun is up and shining. I could do it for you. You? But I mean, you don't even know each other. We don't even know each other that well. That's fine. I could tell you all about myself on the walk there. My whole life story and everything, where I was born, the school I went to, how many cute librarians I've met. Which happens to be one so far. You're so funny. Before I can even comment on his sudden confidence, Ren seems to pick up on my discomfort at his choice of words. That was so random. If it even was discomfort that I was feeling, and hastily backtracks. Hey, or not, I was just messing around. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. There it was again. That subtle shift in his personality. It's funny. But now that he mentioned it, would it really hurt to invite him to my place for the night? Would it? He definitely looked like he could handle himself in a fight? Right. his contrasting outfit aside, so maybe it wasn't so bad of an idea. How will you respond? Invite him over. Don't invite him over. Let's invite him. No balls. Actually, you know what? Would you mind coming over and staying the night? I'd feel a bit safer knowing someone else was around. Oh, you actually want me to come over? I mean, you've probably been there already, so. I mean, yeah, sure. Definitely. He seems a bit too eager for this, right? If it's not too much trouble, What? Where are they? What? What? No. Eleanor! There you are. Someone at the front desk is looking for you. Oh, sorry, are you busy right now? I can... Eleanor. You sent me over here, and you're gonna do this? Get out. Impeccable timing as always, Eleanor. Angry? Look at his face. No, it's fine. I think everything is already handled here. I gave the two of them a soft smile before making my way towards the reception desk. But as I passed by Eleanor, I gently clasped my hand over her shoulder and shoot her a playful look of my own. If you need more help, I'm sure Eleanor here can assist you. She loves being helpful to others. As I turned to leave, I barely missed the way Ren's eyes zoned in on my hand resting on Eleanor's shoulder. Calm down, buckaroo. I'm only here for you. Calm it down. Eleanor's got great melons, though. So, just let it be known. Hours seemed to pass by in a blur, and soon enough I found myself resting up in the employees' lounge. Nice. Looks very comfortable in here. My mind drifts back to the guy from earlier, and I couldn't help but wonder what happened to him afterwards. Did he rent out the book I offered? What about my recommended novel of the week? Ren surely was strange, to say the least. But I had to admit that he did seem kind of cute with his oversized cardigan and timid demeanor. He still gave me off-putting vibes though, especially with his ever-changing personality. And if I had to be completely honest, that shy and timid persona that he displayed felt rather forced to me. Right. It was almost as if he saw it on TV or something and wanted to try it out himself. And I just happened to be one of his first victims. But who was I to call him out for it? That was his business if he wanted to act all shy and demure. Conan! D, everything alright? It's not often I find you in here at this time. Conan, my boss, startles me as he suddenly appears in the entranceway. Everyone saw him as some kind of blessing to this institution, because the moment he showed up, all forms of trouble seemed to disappear overnight. Those low-life teens started causing chaos everywhere. Oh, elsewhere. And the rumored gangs became few and far between. At first, I thought that he might have been linked with those criminals because of his intimidating gaze and facial scars. You mean the one? I'm only saying one. But then I got to know him better and found out that he held a massive soft spot for those dear to him. Though, much like Eleanor, Conan felt more like a father figure, with how much he fretted over his staff and their well-being. I mean, he literally installed a new air conditioner and water dispenser last week because one of his employees fainted due to heat stroke. That shit should have already been in the library. It wasn't anything too major, but it was nice to know that our boss was considerate enough about the people he hired. I thought I could say the same about my old job in the city. Conan was also nice to chat to whenever I went on my breaks and would always encourage me to take as much time as I needed before I returned to my desk. But after realizing that I had once again been spacing out, I pulled myself away from my thoughts and turned to offer my boss an acknowledging smile. Yeah, I'm fine. Just taking a short break. I'll be back out there soon. Take as long as you need. Don't overwork yourself. You got it, buckaroo. He seems hesitant to leave, If the way he was shifting from one foot to the other was any indication. He shoots me a concerned look before opening his mouth, only to close it once more in contemplation. Have you seen Eleanor? I asked her to come see me regarding the unsorted novels in the storeroom, but she's yet to show up. Eleanor? Last I saw her, she was talking to one of our patrons in aisle 8. Maybe she's still there? I'll have to check again then, thank you. And with that, he disappeared, just as quickly as he came. But that was odd. It wasn't like Eleanor just suddenly go missing. Was she still occupied with Ren? It'd been a while, so I figured she would have finished helping him by now. Oh well, I'm sure she'll turn up sooner or later. Ren didn't seem like much of a talkative person anyway. He didn't? Jeez, why did my thoughts keep returning to that eccentric man? I don't know. I already invited him to our home. Deciding that I wasn't going to waste my time thinking about any more pink-haired guys, my beloved Haruka aside, I got up from the lounge and meandered my way back towards the front desk again. Once I arrived, I immediately noticed that my chatty coworker was still nowhere to be found. Bro! It was just like my boss had said, Eleanor wasn't anywhere to be seen. And it wasn't like her to leave the reception desk unattended for so long. Maybe she managed to knock over a pile of books again and was busy cleaning it up. It certainly wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary for her. Well, whatever, I'm sure she'll turn up again soon. The impact from me plopping down onto my office chair causes some of the papers around me to rustle, and a bright pink stinky note fluttering around captures my attention. Assuming it was left here by Eleanor, I peel the folded note off my computer screen and read it. Angel? Unfolding it, read the following. I'll wait for you after work, but if you change your mind about our deal, just keep walking. I'll take the hint, don't worry. That stuttering guy from aisle 8. The stuttering guy from aisle 8? I couldn't help but crack a smile at the name Ren chose for himself. Okay. Before I could allow Eleanor to change... Oh. The chance to manifest behind me and tease me to Kingdom Come, I pocket the note and go back to sorting through the stack of returned books left on the desk. Eleanor, you better show up to work, bro. The next day, I'm not kidding. True to his word, I caught a glimpse of Ren patiently waiting for me on the benches as I pack up for the day and leave the library. From afar, he looked like an oversized puppy waiting for his owner to return from work, and admittedly I found it rather cute, especially with how his figurative tail started to wag upon my arrival. Ren seemed all too happy to see me, but before I could call out to him, he offers me a water bottle that I assumed he brought from one of the convenience stores down the street. You worked hard today, now you can finally rest. Yes. He's looking down at me again with a glimmer of expectancy in his eyes, so I hesitantly take the bottled water from his grasp and give him an affirmative nod of my head. Thanks. No problem. Did you want to head off now or do you want to rest for a bit? I mean, you were standing a lot today. He seems almost lost in his thoughts now. I wonder how he knew what I'd been doing all day.
You serious?
Let's try to connect the dots here, Einstein. After all, I figured he would have left after he found that book. Maybe he stayed a bit longer to read it. Oh, no, I'm fine, but do you think we could make a quick detour on the way? I still need to... Whoa! Jay. And Leon. Okay. Hey, yo. I could recognize those boisterous voices anywhere. The first one belonged to Jae Hyun, a guy I had met during my early days at university. He sat next to me during the first days of orientation, and even offered to lend me his phone charger when my battery started to run out. He's a fun guy to be around, though his extroverted and energetic personality was often hard to keep up with. But Leon, the other guy, awkwardly hanging off of Jay's arm was a different story. We practically known each other ever since we were babies. Cool. But he moved away from Cortland Bay when we were still in elementary school. I wasn't sure when he moved back to the Bay, but it was great knowing that I'd be able to see him again. I just wished I could find the time to hang out with him, just like we used to. But I was always busy with work and he was always busy playing volleyball and taking care of his sick mother in the hospital. Before I knew it, I was being pulled off my thoughts by Jay's bubbling laughter. Hey, still with us? Hey, do you finally finish with work? Yes. Oh, and who's this? This is Ren. We actually met at work today. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to tell Leon, the human personification of overprotective. You're talking about him? What about Mr. Ren here? That I had met the man today. What would he think if he found out I was bringing home a complete stranger? He usually rents out my recommended books at the library. Anyways, Leon, Jay, this is Ren. Ren, this is Leon and Jay. Unfortunately, these guys are my friends. Okay. It's truly unfortunate to know a handsome block such as myself. Right. Unfortunately, this game isn't exactly about you, Leon. It's about Ren. So yeah. Leon dramatically clutches the spot above his heart as he leans further into Jay's shoulder. So here, Ren, are you new here? I like to think I know everyone here in the Bay, but it seems you've proven me wrong. Yeah, I recently moved here a couple months ago. Oh, same as D. I'm pretty sure they moved back here like, what, 2 months ago? Leon looks at me for confirmation, and I meekly nod my head. Strange how I've only been back here for 2 months, and I've yet to find enough time to catch up with all my friends. What a coincidence. Yeah, what a coincidence. Anyways, talking about moving is boring. Do you want to come hang with us? No. I barely noticed the way Ren gets shoved to the side by Jay, intentional or not. Nor could I make out the scowl on his face as soon as the excitable man leans a little too close to my personal bubble. We were just about to head over to the club Shoreline. Do you want to come? I'm sure Leon wouldn't mind playing for you as well. I don't mind paying for them? Oh, paying for them. Well, who said anything about paying for you? I did just now. Thanks, Leon, you're the best. I don't mind the way Leon rolls his eyes at Jay's antics before settling his gaze on me once more. Do you want to tag along? I really don't mind paying for you. Sorry guys, I've actually already made plans. And do these plans have anything to do with this lanky fellow? Yes. My name is Ren. Actually, yeah, I promised I'd hang out with him today. He can come clubbing with us too, the more the merrier. I'd rather not. Maybe another time. I'm kind of drained from work anyways, so. No worries. Just make sure to take it easy when you get home, okay? I'm gonna take it easy, alright? I'm gonna take it real easy. I'm gonna kick back and relax. He shoots me a considerate smile before throwing an arm over Jay's shoulder. Well then, if you'll excuse us, gotta find a way to get this knucklehead to cover his own entry fees. We can all catch up another time, okay? Totally. And if you need help with anything, just give me a ring, yeah? I'll watch my phone like a hawk tonight. It was nice catching up with you again. And nice meeting you too, Ron. Ron? As they leave, I noticed the way Leon looks Ren up and down. Almost as if he was sizing him up, but Jay, like always, ignores the mood and thumps Leon in the back to encourage him to walk faster. I watch as I hate when people do that. How you gonna purposely say his name wrong? That doesn't make you the alpha. Like, it just makes you a dickhead. It doesn't make you cool in any way. Anyways, Ren, let's continue. My queen size bed is just waiting to be utilized. So let's go do that. I watch they both throw a carefree wave over their shoulders as they both head off in the direction of the nightclub a few blocks down the street. That wasn't awkward at all. I turned to look at Ren, but his eyes seemed to be fixated on the two retreating figures. He doesn't seem to snap out of it, so I gently call out his name again. Oh, sorry. Do you wanna head back home now? In the end, so we made a quick detour to the local locksmith before heading back to my apartment. Yay! So this is my place. You'll have to excuse. Oh, yeah, you'll have to excuse the mess. I was expecting to have anyone over. Wait, am I bugging? Were these sparkles here before? Don't worry about it. I know you're not a messy person. Do you? I mean, from what I can tell, you don't really seem like the type. Yeah? I can get messy. Okay. Don't test me. Well, I hope you can still keep that image of me after you see the state of my place. His soft laughter echoes down the hall and almost drowns out the sound of my neighbor opening her door. Uh-oh. Another interruption, mind you. Another one. Oh! Violet almost seems embarrassed as he jumps up behind her door. Clearly not expecting someone to be around at this time. But she brushes it off with a soft smile and steps outside. Hello again. We seem to be bumping into each other a lot lately. Oh, who's this? Why are you coming out of your home? How do I explain to my neighbor that Ren wasn't some guy I just met at work today? I'm certain she'd chew me out for bringing home a complete stranger, but still. He didn't exactly seem like the type to murder me in my sleep. Don't jinx it now. In fact, he seemed more like the type of guy to ask me to return his order because he asked for no pickles or something. This is... I'm Ren. Immediately. His large frame blocks my view as he steps in front of my neighbor and me. Almost as if he wanted to put as much distance between the two of us as possible. Ren is like so worried that I'm gonna fall in love with anyone else. Which is crazy because that's impossible. One of his hands shoots out from inside his pocket, and he gruffly offers it to Violet for her to shake. Concerned about his abrupt actions, I sidestep him and look up to gauge his expression. I'm a friend of D. Yay! I see. I haven't seen you around before though. Are you new to the area? Relax, Vi. He's not a serial killer or anything. At least I sure hope he wasn't. And why did I feel the sudden urge to defend him? Wasn't like I could confidently say that he was some holy being that flew down from heaven or something. Maybe he was the one who needed to be called Angel instead. Ah well, didn't really matter. Really? Ren actually offered to stay at my place for the night in case that creep decides to come back. Oh well, I mean, he certainly has the height for it. I get that a lot. But don't worry, they're safe in my hands. Well, alright then. A friend of D is a friend of mine. But I have my eye on you, mister. Totally not a serial killer. She whispers the next part to Ren under her breath, but clearly had the intention of letting me hear it as well. Just remember that I know what you look like now, so don't complain if you see your face plastered all over milk carton soon enough. Ain't no way. Well, alrighty then. Enjoy your night. No funny business, you two. No funny business. Nah. You know what, Violet? You're right. There will be no funny business. What we're gonna do is get down to business. Yeah. I'm off for my walk now. Toodles. You do that. You make sure you take a while too. It might get rowdy up here. Ignore her, please. What's up? Okay, but I gotta ask, was she holding a potted plant on a walk? Yes, she was. Cause she's weird like that. Dropping my keys into the bowl, I shrug out of my coat and drape it over one of the chairs near the entrance. Well, make yourself at home. Turning to run, I watch as he awkwardly shuffles about in the hallway. Almost uncertain he should come inside or not. I'll let you know. He moves to take off his shoes, and I watch in awe as he neatly stacks them next to the umbrella rack. Are you the type to leave your shoes on at home? Sorry. No, you're fine. You're peachy. He really was adorable. But now that he was here, I wasn't quite sure what to do next. Usually I'd pop on a TV show or some anime while they chow down on some takeaway food. Or even just talk with Moth until some unreasonable hour in the morning. But now that I had company over, I wasn't quite sure what to do. I got a couple ideas. I don't even know what Ren liked to do in his free time. I know what I like to do in my free time. Turning to face the pink-haired man once more, I almost jumped back in fright. Clearly, I was expecting him to get so close to me while I was lost in thought. I could almost feel the heat radiating from his large frame, and feel the small puffs of air leave his nostrils as he shyly leans down to look at me. Oh, so... breathe. Was there anything you want to do, or... because I usually just... Damn it. It was hard to think straight. When he was standing so close to me and wafting his stupidly strong scent of mint and fresh linen in my direction. Why was I even so attentive to the way he smelled? I'm starting to get creepy. I don't really have anything I need to do. You can just go about your normal routine if you want, and I'll try not to get in your way. Or you could just put me in a corner somewhere and I'll pretend I'm not there. Whatever works for you. No offense, but you take up much more room than you think, so I doubt that would work. Touché. Once again, I found myself being drawn in by his soft laughter, and I couldn't help but chuckle along with him. Was it always this easy talking to him? It was like we were childhood friends reminiscing about old times or something. Except the only one making it awkward now was me. Glancing back at Ren, I notice he's still looking at me with those expectant eyes of his as he looms over me in the entryway. He obviously didn't want to do something I'd be uncomfortable with, and he couldn't really suggest anything since this wasn't his home. So I guess the choice was up to me after all. How will you respond? Watch some television. Make a late night snack. Suggest getting ready for bed. Ask him to leave. Let's see what this does, and if it doesn't do anything, I'll come back. It's getting rather late, isn't it? Did you just want to get ready for bed? I can show you the bathroom while I get the air mattress out. It's fine, I don't want to be a bother. I can just sleep on the floor or something, I don't mind. Well, you're not sleeping on the floor. Don't worry about it, it's not a bother at all. Besides, I have timber flooring. It'll just be 2 seconds. I turn to make a beeline for my closet before he can respond. And yet I barely got 3 meters away before I could hear the heavy, telltale footsteps of Ren following close behind me once more. Almost like a puppy. It was honestly kind of cute. Wasn't it? Hopefully this doesn't just initiate sleep, you know? Shaking my head to dismiss those thoughts, I pull out my trusty air mattress from the closet and begin setting up in the lounge room. That is, as I found out that it had a massive gaping hole on the side. Perfect. Those damn rats, I swear. If I had the chance to move apartments, I'd take it in a heartbeat. But until then, I'll continue to send complaint after complaint to that good-for-nothing landlord. Really, I don't mind sleeping on the floor. You're not sleeping on the floor. You're gonna sleep with me. And like I said, I have uncomfortable timber flooring. Unless... How will you respond? You could share my bed! You could sleep on my couch. My hallway has carpet. Maybe if I stack some blankets on the floor. Evil. Mischievous. Wow, did I really just suggest that? And where did I suddenly get so much confidence? From me. Me. I was certain that my face was beet red by now, and I could barely spare a glance at Ren, though noticed that he was sporting a similar demeanor. You're... Oh, sorry, I don't know why. No, I don't mind, it's just that... Is that really okay with you? I don't want to make you uncomfortable by invading your personal space, and I really don't mind sleeping on the floor. Once again, my lovely schnookums, you're not sleeping on the fucking floor, okay? Let's get this done. No, it's fine. I'm the one who asked you to do this favor in the first place, so I owe you one. Yes, I prevail. Yes. After showing Ren to the bathroom to freshen up and changing into my own pajamas in the laundry room, I meet him in the middle and we both make our way to my bedroom. I don't bother flicking on the light, knowing fully well that I'd be busy ignoring his presence next to mine by pretending to be asleep. So instead, I awkwardly lead him to the door. Oh, lead him in before turning to face him in the darkness. You can just pick whichever side you prefer. You first. Oh, but maybe I should be the one closest to the door, just in case. You really didn't need to be so considerate, but nevertheless... Wait. Okay. So, I literally have the perfect idea, right? So... Obviously, I know that it's him who came into our house. Duh. I'm not stupid. But let's pretend that we're stupid for a second, right? And let's just be like, you know what the perfect way to get someone to not come into your house? Noises. Yes! Noises of this nature. Now, if anyone heard that, they turn around. They'd be like,
oh shit, they're getting busy. Let me leave them alone.
Let's get it done. Took my side on the left and slowly slipped underneath the sheets. Good. It must have looked forced, but I awkwardly pat the empty space next to me and shoot Ren a crooked smile. He slowly makes his way over and joins me underneath the covers. What? Before he could even say anything, I slammed down a pillow between us. Just in case I roll over something, I'm known to be a cuddler in my sleep. I hate you. That's fine, I'm the same, I think. You think? I mean, no one's told me yet, but I've woken up to my limbs tangled around my pillows more times than I can count. I see. Yeah. Great, now it's awkward again. Guys, come on. I'm helping. I'm suggesting. And no one's taking my suggestions. I'm so sad. But being this close to Ren, I could smell his scent once more. And it felt almost comforting. I had to fight the urge to roll over onto my side and face him. Or rather the pillow once more. The bed dips as Ren moves around to get comfortable. And I find myself wondering what he might be looking at right now? Was it my ceiling, the pillow between us, or was he laying on his side and facing the wardrobe? This is so... Why was I so concerned in the first place? Sure, I suppose I did find him rather interesting, but that didn't explain why I wanted to look at his face one more time. Did I want to get closer to him? Or was I just curious about what that stranger was currently doing in my bed? you respond? Move the pillow. Call out to him. Say goodnight. Don't say anything. Move the pillow. Before I can stop myself, my hand reaches out to move the pillow from between us. I was immediately met with soft blue eyes, which I could see widen in surprise even in the darkness of the room. Hi. Hey. Now, I don't want to sound too forward or anything, but well, let's go. Let me see it real quick. Talk about awkward. Without realizing it, I discard the pillow somewhere behind me as I continue to stare deeply into Ren's eyes. Deeply. There seemed to be some unspoken tension between us, and I had to fight the urge to act upon it. What exactly was I feeling? And why did I want to find out? Because you're a curious kitty. How will you respond? Lean over and kiss him. Hastily backtrack. Say goodnight. Go to sleep. No! To everything else but this one. Before I could think, I find myself leaning over and drawing my face closer to his. Ren seems to be on the same wavelength as me, and I feel his warmth breathe as I feel his warm breath fan against my cheek, and his own face draws near to close the distance. One of my hands shoots out to rest against his chest, and before I could stop myself, I leaned in the rest of the way. Almost immediately, I was met with a pair of soft lips and the taste of cherry on my mouth. Cherry flavored. My eyelids fluttered shut at the sensation, and I let Ren's overwhelming presence engulf my entire being. The smell of fresh mint, masculine deodorant, and something that was so woefully Ren, flooding my senses, and I felt myself becoming intoxicated by it all. It was like two pieces of a puzzle slotting together, with how perfectly our lips seemed to meld with each other, and I couldn't pull myself away. One of his hands rises up to cup my cheek, and I find myself keening softly as Ren tilts his head to deepen the kiss. He takes my bottom lip into his own and gently bites down before his tongue joins in, curiously prodding against my lips as if to test the waters. When I met him halfway with my own, he seems to have finally found the reassurance he needed before deepening the kiss even more. His other hand rests on my waist before gently pulling me closer, clearly not wanting any distance between us. So Ren wanted this just as much as I did? Question mark? I could feel just how eager he was as he kissed me with more desperation and fervor than anything I ever experienced in my life. But we could only go for so long before one of us needed air. And that someone happened to be me. When I pull away, Ren practically whines at the loss of contact. And I watch with slight amusement as his lips unconsciously follow to seek out mine once more before his eyes flutter open. A beat passes as we just stare at each other, taking in the moment to process what just happened. Oh, occurred. My bad. His hands are still on me, and it was only then when I noticed he was tracing faint stars on my cheek with his thumb. Did that just really happen? Yes! His voice is soft, so soft that I could barely make out what he was saying. He was staring at me with so much overwhelming adoration in his eyes that I couldn't help but look away. Oh no, I'm so bashful. And that was when I just saw how hard that kiss affected him. As I noticed what I was staring at, Ren let out an awkward sound and shifted so that his lower half was obscured by the blankets once more. Sorry, you're just really hard to resist. Not that I'd want to resist you or anything, I guess I'm just trying to say that I want you. Taken aback by his sudden boldness, I had to allow myself a moment to collect my thoughts. How will you respond? Maybe we should go to bed now. That's what a fuckhead would say. Good thing I'm not a fuckhead. I want you too, Pookie Bear. You do? Yeah! Then tell me clearly what you want from me. If I did that, we'd be here forever. Just get down to business, bro. Just get down to business. Do you want me to kiss you again, or do you want something else? Let's say something else. Dummy. You're a dummy dingus. Where did this confident aura suddenly come from? The moment I showed interest, it was like he became a different person. Not that I was about to complain or anything. This side of him was insanely attractive. You've gone quiet on me. You have to tell me what you want or I'll stop. I want you, Ren. Please. Yeah. Without missing a beat, Ren's large frame obscures my vision as he shifts between my thighs. His two arms rest against either side of my head and cage me in, and he stares down at me with an almost predatory gaze. He barely allows me a moment to make sense of the new situation before he leans forward to capture my lips in a searing kiss. His large frame engulfs my vision yet again, and I wrap my arms around his neck to pull him even closer to my body. There's a hunger behind his eyes now, almost as if he had been practically yearning for me all this time. So I lean in for another selfish kiss. He almost hisses at the contact before deepening it, with one hand coming to caress my cheek once more as the other trails down my side. He kisses with much more fervor now, and I will find myself melting into his warm touch. The hand on my side digs deeper into the flesh of my hip before it travels even lower to tug at the underside of my shirt. His eyes seek out mine in the dark to suddenly ask for permission, and I breathlessly nod my head. Almost eagerly, he pulls up my shirt to expose my breasts. The stark coldness of the room finally sinks in and sends a chill down my spine, but I ignore it in I thought it said fervor again. Whoopsies. Ignore it in favor of feebly tugging at Ren's clothes as well. Rip him off. He gets the message immediately, hastily tugging his outer sweater off over his head and letting one of the sleeves dangle off of his arm haphazardly. But as I move to take off his white undershirt, he stops me by taking my hand in a gentle hold. Sorry. Can we keep that on? I don't feel comfortable taking it off just yet. Anything for you. No, that's fine, I get it. He barely allows me any time to respond before his lips latch onto my neck instead, and I let out an audible gasp as he bites and sucks on anything he can get his mouth on. One nibble in particular has me arching my back into him. And I suddenly became aware of just how much this had been affecting him yet again. Careful. He lets out a shaky moan into my ear, and I found myself wanting to hear him make that sound again. And so, almost deviously, I reach a hand down to play with the hem of his jeans. I pull at the elastic of his waistband before letting it snap back into place. And Ren's response is immediate. His hips rut desperately into mine as he whines once more into my ear. And his hands and teeth return to their spot on my body. Only this time, he's biting a little harder and squeezing a little tighter. His other hand, however, glides down my sides and makes quick work of my pajama bottoms, leaving me in nothing but my panties. I can feel the friction of his jeans even more against my core now, and a muffled groan at the immense feeling. Almost greedily, Ren's head shifts back up to swallow my noises with his heated kiss, and his hand busies himself with the elastic of my underwear. His ocean blue eyes and mine once more are in yet another silent question, so I guide his hand to where I needed it the most as the answer.
A few moments later.
Apparently that was all it took to have him back on me once more, with his hungry mouth and body on mine as a shaking hand moves to line himself up with my aching. Ow! You should know I haven't done this before. Perfect! Perfect. Wait, what? I'm glad I get to experience my first time with someone like you. He's looking at me with those eyes again as if I was the one who strung the stars up in the night sky just for him to see. And now here he was, telling me that he'd never done this before. As if he didn't just... Oh. Yup! That's all, yup. How will you respond? This is my first time as well. I've already done this before. I'm happy I get to be your first. Does it matter? I just want to feel you. I just want to feel. This is my first time as well. Really? Then we're the same. The look of pure, unadulterated happiness washes over his features as I felt the surprised by such an innocent gesture. My eyes flutter open once more, and what greeted me was the sight that took my breath away. Yippee! Take me! Take me away, officer. I've been awfully bad. Take me. Give it a slight squeeze for me, please. At my protest, he lethargically rolls to his side, but not before scooping me into his large arms, and bringing me along with him. His softening length remains buried deep inside, but I feel more like a dull sensation at this point as I curl myself into Ren's warmth. Breathlessly sticky, and now perched atop his chest, Ren and I simply laid there as we took in the afterglow of the moment. It felt like hours seemed to pass as I listened to his breathing, and soon enough I felt my own come to a slow, even pace. The hand that was idly stroking up and down my backside came to an eventful halt, and I didn't even need to look up to know that he had already fallen asleep. He still had a protective hold around me though, so I allowed the exhaustion to take hold of me and follow Ren to dreamland. After all, we could talk about what just happened in the morning. What is there to talk about? End of day 1. The next day will soon begin, so make sure to save now if you need to. Thank you. Oh my gosh. This game is so kind. I'm keeping it right there. That... I mean, let me stop. That was amazing. I approve. 10 points. Across the board. Beautiful. That's exactly what I needed. That was 14 Days with You, day 1. That was amazing. I can't wait to play the other 2 days. That's gonna be so fun. Now, I know that there's like 2 other endings for each like day, because there's 3 endings for each day. But honestly, I'm pretty content with the ending I just got. Like, what more could I ask for? I don't really want to see a bad ending or an okay ending. I kind of just wanted to see that one. So I tried my best, and I'm glad I achieved on the first try. I just picked everything that was obvious. That would obviously lead me to what I needed to do. So yeah. If you guys enjoyed it, oh my god, a like. Just amazing. And of course, subscribe for more of this, because I'm definitely invested now. And with all of that being said, I will see you guys next time. Yeah!